I cannot wait to see that. I want to ask too, since you mentioned like people leaving the theater, after someone comes and they view this show, and they partake in this process, because this is certainly a process. After you've partaken in the process of Choir Boy, how do you want people to feel when they leave? And what pieces of this show are you setting up to kind of be a really good discovery for someone as they're leaving the theater, they're still discussing this work?
The big one that the team from Denver brought into the room, and this is like a big tenant, and again, this is represented in the writing. This isn't a thing that they're just like putting on top of it that they feel. But the different ways in which young Black boys show and receive love, and their ability to give and show and receive love. And I think that that's the big thing I want the girls to see, is how many
Yeah.
different ways that black boys can love. Again, like
Wow.
when they turn us into adults, they also hypersexualize us. And so like stripping that away, like, and just being like, wow, like, and also showing like there is a straight character who shows love to a gay character that's completely platonic, but when do you get to see that a lot?
Yeah.
Where there's not a fight involved. There's gay characters showing other gay characters love. There's grown men showing like a familial, platonic teacher student love. There's a student showing like that same platonic love from the other end, student teacher. Like there's so many different ways in
Yeah.
which, and straight Black boys loving other straight Black boys, like like it's there's so many facets and multitudes to Black love. It's
Mm.
not just simply like the pretty Black couple on Instagram who just got married. Like Black love is so much larger than that.
Yeah. I mean, we're not a monolith, so you
Let's
can't
be
expect
clear
us.
on
Right.
be
So,
clear.
Nicholas, that literally gave me chills because I'm like, yeah, like I just maybe even thinking about a younger version of myself that's like, wow, like what it would have meant for more people, not Black folks, the other folks, more people in the room and in spaces to be like,
Hmm.
these Black students know love and they're deserving of knowing that love and sharing it with each other. Yeah, like, wow. Yeah,
It's
that's
big.
good.
The play is big. It's only 100 minutes, but it's a monster. Like it's not. This is not no. This is not simply just a play about a
Yeah.
little Black gay boy and his woes.
So if you were able to have a conversation with that young Black queer gay student that's sitting in the audience, who is self-reflecting in a lot of
Hmm.
these moments, um, and that's going, I identify with this, I see this, like, and I see myself in this piece. What is something that you would want to say to that student?
I would tell them what you're feeling is exactly true. You deserve better. And if you can just hold out, you need to do your best to hold on, find the people who see you, find the people who want to see you, find the people who want you to see them, and just hold on to them for dear life. Um, you belong here. And a lot of these kids, and again, a lot of these adults do not believe so. They do not. This is not something that everyone grows out of. Some of these people are just going to be terrible, and that has nothing to do with you.
Yeah,
It has
yeah,
nothing to do with you. Just keep pushing through. Just keep pushing through, because on the other side, all of this, everything that you've built up, everything that you've made of yourself thus far, a lot of the things that these same people are trying to beat out of you are the exact things that you need to hold on to, because
mm,
there are other people out there who are not only just like you, but there are other people out there who are completely different from you who will love every inch of it.
yeah. Listen, because one day you will find that Nicholas Bernard. You
Listen.
you will find yourself a Brodrick Ryans that will be like, I see you and I love
Hey,
you
babe.
and I will celebrate you.
You
Yes.
will. They are out there. They are out
Yes.
there. You are not the only one. You are
Absolutely.
far from it.
That's that extended family. I mean, there's nothing like it. But I do want to ask you, can you name like just off the top of your head, like three things that you think of when you start thinking of the context and the like literal text of this show?
Hmm. Um, I would definitely, well, actually, the four things that I've started to glean out of this with help from the directing team of Jamil Jude and Sharona Mitchell, as well as like looking at the text and over and over and over again, is that at the top of the show, there's a song called Trust and Obey.
Hmm.
And then also at the top of the show, Ferris, and this is not a spoiler because it's literally on the first page. Ferris asks Ferris asks his headmaster a question: is it better to be feared or respected? And I think that those four things are what are holding the entire play up. When is it time to trust? When is it time to obey? When is it time to respect or be respected? When is it time to make someone fear you or be feared? Or when is it time to fear someone? And I think like, and not just again, like again, we were trying not to dive deep in, but like not even just on that end, but like on the other end, when we're talking about like receiving love, like how do you step into a place of receiving love? You know, you're supposed, like we think of obeying people as like, you know, them telling you what to do despite you not wanting to do it, but you have to obey your parents. Is that not love?
Yeah.
You know. But is it always love when you have to obey your parents? Your
Yeah.
parents want you to trust them. You want to trust your parent. Like, oh, you want to be respected, but sometimes fear is used. Like, do we get the wires crossed, or are we doing that implicitly? Do we know the difference and are we using it correctly? Like, it's those four things just keep swirling around in me. So like the idea of trust, the idea of obeying, the idea of respect, and the idea of fear seem to be the things that are like circulating for me throughout this text.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for that. Nicholas, I also want you just to tell me or share what about this process and this project is really um, helping you to grow as a person and as an artist.
As a person, just in the way that like every process that I do helps to grow as a person. Whether it is on one end the greatest process I've ever done and filled with nothing but love and joy, or on the other end like I'm trying not to go to jail. Like every all of those processes help me grow as a better person and artist. Because I love, for better and for worse, I love being around other artists and clocking like things that make joy and admiration arise in me from other people. Um, as an artist, like I've always been very aware of the shiny set of tools I have in my toolbox, but I've always been more interested in everyone else's. Um, and what and self-awareness being a very big thing about me, which you'll if the more I do these things, the more you'll hear me yell about this every single day. um but just being aware of like what I can do and what I cannot do and what I want to do and what I shouldn't do, and then seeing how those questions arrive in other people and how they respond to them, I think makes it twofold for me: becoming a better person and becoming a better artist, because I don't think you can become a better artist without becoming a better person. Maybe a
Yeah.
better performer, sure. You can definitely become a better performer without becoming a better person, but not a better artist at all.
Mm.
Um, and I think like that is what really I'm taking from this, is just like watching these talented people, like watching their triumphs and their struggles, and um, watching the way they like maneuver and navigate this text, as well as other bodies, as well as the space, as well as expectations. Like some of these people from out of town, watching how but they're out of town, but they did the show in Denver. So watching how these other actors navigate, honestly, knowing the show better than any of the other actors who are in there, not because we haven't been reading or not studying, but it's a different thing to study a show and it's a different thing to do the show, you know. And this is going to be a different show, different cast, like different city, and like it's not like a carbon copy or even a cut and paste, or honestly not even, to a certain point it's becoming like a loose reference, like like it's morphing into something else. But just watching these people, just like watching other people live, you know, for the exact reason why we come to the theater anyway. It's the same thing in rehearsal, like watching other people live.
I mean, it's for non-theater folks, they would not know the term, but when we say be off book, watching someone work when they're off book as opposed to watching someone work when they are when they're still trying to learn and figure it out. It's a completely different thing.
Absolutely.
So I imagine that that's a lot of what's probably also happening in that space, is that you're being able to watch someone who's off book do the whole thing and just morph it and change it and play with it even more, right? Like there's more creativity there a little bit, because they have that freedom to be like, I'm not holding a book, or I'm not like relying on someone to give me a line because I don't know. So thank you. Thank you so much for sharing all of this, Nicholas. This was absolutely fantastic. I just want to say thank you, everybody, for joining and watching and listening to this show talk. You can follow me personally at Brodrick Ryans on IG if you would like to. That's BRODRICK RYANS. If you would like to follow my podcast, you can follow me at Timeout Brodrick on Instagram. Nicholas, why don't you tell the kiddos where they can follow you?
You can find me at N Japaul Japaul Bernard on Instagram.
Please purchase your tickets to see Choir Boy at www.fifthavenue.org. Get those tickets. I feel like they're going to sell out and sell fast. Once people really come in and see the show, I already know. I'm like, I've loved this story for a long time, but knowing that it's going to be in our city, and folks that I know are going to be in there consuming and doing this work, I can't wait. So please get your tickets. If you have any questions or comments, concerns, please send those over to us at Fifth Avenue as well. We're happy to take those. But thank you for joining us for this show talk.
Thank you for having me, baby. This was cute.